Yo, what's good? Night crawlers, hit that play button if you're ready to lose sleep. We're tearing into r/ let's not meet tonight with a post so messed up the OP ghosted the whole subreddit after dropping it, lights flickering yet. Smash that. Like if you're brave, slap sub and bell so this doesn't vanish. Then lock your doors. Whatever stalked them home might be reading over your shoulder. Let's roll.
I bought an old baby monitor at a garage sale just to mess with my girlfriend. I set it up in our bedroom before work and decided to check the feed later for a laugh. Instead of silence, I heard humming, a woman softly singing a lullaby to something. The crib on screen was gently rocking, but we don't have a baby. I unplugged it, freaked out. When I got home, the monitor was back on, pointed at our bed. Then my phone buzzed with a message from the monitor app. Don't unplug me again. The door that wasn't there yesterday. I've lived in this apartment for 3 years. Same layout, same creaky floors, same boring beige hallway. But last night, there was a new door at the end of it. I swear it wasn't there before. I even checked old photos on my phone. Nothing. Just a blank wall. At first, I thought I was losing it, but around 3 a.m., I woke up to this soft, rhythmic knocking. It wasn't coming from the front door. It was coming from that new one. I grabbed a baseball bat, crept down the hallway, and opened it. On the other side wasn't a room. It was my old house, my childhood bedroom. Everything was exactly how I left it. The cracked nightlight, the glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. And in the bed was me, a younger version of me, maybe 7 years old, sleeping soundly. I stepped closer, whispering, "What the hell?" And that's when he opened his eyes. He didn't look surprised. He looked terrified. Then he whispered, "Don't let it find you again." Before I could say anything, something moved behind me. A slow dragging sound on the floor. I slammed the door shut and ran back to my room. This morning the door was gone. Just a solid wall again. But sometimes when the apartment's quiet, I can still hear that knocking coming from inside the walls. Title, "There's Someone Living in My Walls," I started hearing scratching about a month ago. Just light, quick sounds, like nails on drywall. My landlord said it was probably rats, but rats don't whisper your name. At first it was small things. Food missing, lights left on, my toothbrush moved. I thought I was just tired working too many night shifts. But then one morning I found muddy footprints in my hallway, bare feet, small, almost delicate. I set up a cheap camera facing my kitchen. The next day I checked the footage. Around 2:47 a.m., the pantry door opened from the inside. A woman crawled out, pale, thin, eyes wide like she hadn't seen sunlight in years. She walked right up to the camera and smiled. Then she slowly turned it toward my bedroom door. That night I didn't sleep. I waited with a kitchen knife in my hand. At exactly 2:47, I heard breathing behind the wall. Long, shaky breaths. Then a whisper. "You shouldn't have watched that." The drywall shifted. A hand pushed through. Nails broken, skin bleeding. I swung the knife and ran. The cops didn't find her, but when they tore down the wall, they found a hollowed-out space, blankets, food wrappers, and photos of me. Sleeping. The scariest part? Some of the pictures were taken from my phone. The echoes in room 13. It started when I moved into the old apartment downtown. The place was cheap and the landlord said it was haunted, but I didn't believe in that stuff. The first few nights were quiet, just the usual creaks and groans of an aging building. But on the 7th night, I heard it, a faint whispering coming from the adjacent room. Room 13, which had been sealed off since I moved in. I was curious, so I grabbed a flashlight and slowly approached the door. As I pushed it open, a cold rush of air slapped me in the face. Inside was a blood-stained mattress, torn sheets, and strange symbols scratched into the walls. The whispers grew louder, now just a murmur of desperate voices. Suddenly I saw a figure, pale, trembling, eyes black as coal, crouched in the corner. Before I could say a word, it lunged at me, snapping and snarling like a wild animal. I ran out of the apartment, but I could still hear its screams echoing behind me. Over the next few days, neighbors told me stories of several previous tenants disappearing without a trace after hearing strange noises from room 13. The last one was a man who was found dead, blood everywhere, with his face frozen in a terrified scream. They're saying whatever is in that room wanted to give me back shot. I was home alone one night, just scrolling through my phone, trying to ignore the empty apartment around me. My cat, usually sprawled across the couch, was hiding under the bed, hissing at nothing. That's when I first heard it, a soft tapping at the window. I froze. The window was on the second floor. No way anything could reach it, I thought. I told myself it was just the wind. Minutes passed. The tapping got louder, more deliberate, like someone was tracing my reflection with their fingers. My heart started pounding. I grabbed a flashlight and slowly approached the window. Nothing. Just the dark outline of the trees outside. I laughed nervously, telling myself I was being paranoid. Then I noticed my reflection in the mirror across the room. My own movements, but slightly delayed, like the mirror had its own rhythm. My cat hissed from under the bed, like it knew something I didn't. The tapping grew louder, more deliberate, tracing some invisible pattern. I grabbed a flashlight, approached the window. Nothing. Just the dark outline of the trees. Then I saw it, my reflection in the mirror, moving slightly behind me, smiling a little too wide. My heart stopped. I spun around. Empty room. But then, the tapping came again. From inside the apartment. From the bedroom. I screamed and blacked out. When I awoke, I was soaked in piss and my cat was waiting to be fed. I never found out what it was. The tapping stopped after that night. But sometimes when I'm home alone, I swear I see it in the mirror, just standing there, waiting. I've never been one for ghost stories, but I can't explain what's been happening to me. I'm typing this from my phone, locked in my bathroom, because I'm too scared to look out my window. It's out there again tonight. The bus. It's always there, and I don't know what it wants from me. I live in a small town, the kind where everyone knows your business, and the only public transport is a single bus line that runs twice a day, once at 7 a.m., once at 6 p.m. It's an old thing, a faded blue relic with chipped paint in seats that smell like mildew. The driver, Gus, has been at it for decades, always wearing the same stained cap and never saying much beyond a grunt when you pay your fare. The route's simple. It starts at the town square, loops through the suburbs, and ends at the old mill on the edge of the woods. If you miss the last bus, you're walking. About a month ago, I started noticing something off. I work late at the diner, so I usually take the 6 p.m. bus home. One night I was exhausted. Double shift, spilled coffee on my apron. The works I got to the stop at 6:05, cursing myself for missing it. But then I heard the familiar rumble of an engine. Headlights cut through the dusk, and there it was. The bus, same chipped paint, same flickering sign that read Route 7. I figured Gus was running late, so I waved it down. The doors hissed open, but Gus wasn't driving. The seat was empty. I froze, my hand still raised. The interior was dark, not the usual dim yellow glow of the overhead lights. Just shadows and this faint, rhythmic creaking, like someone rocking in a chair. I called out, "Hello? Gus?" My voice echoed weirdly, like the bus was bigger on the inside than it should have been. No answer. The doors stayed open, waiting. I don't know why, but I stepped back. My gut screamed at me to run, and for once I listened. The doors slammed shut, and the bus peeled away, faster than I'd ever seen it move. As it turned the corner, I swear I saw a face in the rear window. Pale, too wide, smiling at me like it knew I'd chickened out. I walked the 3 miles home, shaking the whole way the next day. I asked Gus about it at the morning stop. He frowned, scratching his cap. "Ain't no bus runs after 6, kid. You sure you weren't dreaming?" I wasn't. I know what I saw. It didn't stop there. Every few nights I'd hear it, the low growl of an engine, always around 2 a.m. I'd peek through my blinds, and there it'd be, idling across the street from my house, not at the stop, just parked, headlights off, doors closed. Sometimes I'd catch a flicker of movement inside, like someone pacing between the seats. Once I heard a laugh, sharp and wrong, like a kid mimicking something they don't understand. Last week I got brave, or stupid. I'd had enough of hiding. I grabbed my flashlight and crept outside when I heard it. The air was thick, like before a storm, and the street was dead quiet except for that engine humming I got within 10 feet, close enough to see the Chip 7 on the sign. The doors opened. No driver, no passengers, just that creaking sound. Louder now, and a smell like damp earth and something sour. I shone my flashlight inside. The beam caught rows of seats, but they weren't empty. There were shapes, hunched, still, too tall to be human, their heads bent at angles that made my stomach lurch. They didn't move, but I felt them watching. Then from the back, something whispered my name. Not shouted, not called. Whispered, clear as day, like it was standing right behind me. I ran. Didn't look back, didn't stop until I was inside with every lock bolted. The bus was gone by morning, but my flashlight was on the porch. Lens cracked, like someone had brought it back for me. It's out there now. I can hear it, idling, waiting. My phone's at 5%, and the power's been flickering all night. I keep thinking about what Gus said yesterday when I pressed him again. He looks scared, which isn't like him. Some things don't stop for you, he muttered. They stop for what's in you. I don't know what that means, but I keep remembering that whisper. It knew my name. And tonight, the engine sounds closer, like it's right outside my door. I'm too scared to look, but I swear I just heard the hiss of doors opening. If you're in a small town and you see a bus that shouldn't be there, don't get on. Don't even look at it. I think I made a mistake just seeing it, and now it won't leave me alone.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or what you'd like to see next. Check out these recommended videos on screen, and I'll see you in the next one.